Kobe. Piercing, spinning, hanging for the lead. And
gets the ball, puts up a three-pointer. Bang! Steph Curry!
Bryant on the move with the jump.
You know, man, sometimes you're just wrong. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you think that you know what's going to happen, what the path is for, you know what I'm saying, certain things to play out. And certain things you just dead ass wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those times, you know what I'm saying? Game 3 of the finals just wrapped up. The Boston Celtics win again, 106-99. In a game that was very much an emotional roller coaster, especially if you were somebody like me who was pulling for the Mavericks to come back and make it a series. So let's go ahead and talk about the Celtics, man. So Jaylen Brown, he comes in and gives you 30 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, a block, 54% from the field. Did big things, especially in that second half. I believe he had only 6 points in the first half, 24 in the second half. So definitely did a great job of quelling Dallas Maverick runs when, you know what I'm saying, they were trying to definitely cut into that lead that they created for themselves in the third quarter. Jason Tatum comes out strong in the first half. I believe he gives you over 20 in the first half, finishes with 31 for the game. Had a couple of times where, you know what I'm saying, he took some really, really tough shots, didn't get them to fall, but that's Jason Tatum, man. If they fall, you take them. If they don't, you know what I'm saying, you know he has a high opportunity of taking that chance. Just overall a great game for the Boston Celtics, man. Like, for a team who, you know what I'm saying, they didn't start off really too hot in that first quarter. It definitely was very much a Dallas Mavericks avalanche. You know what I'm saying? Luka was out here doing big things. Kyrie actually came out hitting shots. I believe Kyrie, he came out and gave you 35 points for the game. So he heard all the chatter and the noise about saying that he needed to show up and actually, like, you know, be a factor in this series. And you know what I'm saying? And the Celtics, they were definitely on their heels. You know what I'm saying? They I believe they were down by 13 points in that first quarter. And honestly, in my opinion, watching that first quarter, it kind of felt like one of those things where it was like, okay, the Mavericks will get out to a big lead early, and then, you know what I'm saying, they'll be able to, like, it kind of felt like a game where it's like, you know, the Celtics will mail it in early, and then we'll have a 2-1 series, and things will be exciting. But before the end of the first quarter, because of the goddamn white boys on the Celtics were able to get back into the quarter, and I believe they go into the second quarter tied, or they were only down by 1 point. You know what I'm saying? Sam Hauser, I believe he was 3 for 3 in that first quarter, just knocking down big three after big three at a time where the team really needed it, because they came out, the Celtics came out, it seemed like, you know what I'm saying, they really, like, they just didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? They were missing threes. Derek White, I believe he started off like 0 for 4. Jason Tatum, I believe he was really the only one really doing anything. Brown started off struggling. Drew started off struggling. It was really just the Jason Tatum show until that middle of that first quarter where Sam Hauser came in and gave you those big buckets to, you know, shrink that lead. And I think for me, when the Celtics were able to shrink that big, what felt like a Dallas Mavericks avalanche, for the Celtics to withstand that and bring the game close within the same quarter, for me, I guess that's kind of where I gave up on the series. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, like, when it comes to just like the game of basketball, right, you can just see when one team is just totally outmatched and, like, totally just playing against a team that's in a different class, and that's really what we're watching right now. The Dallas Mavericks are not quite in the class that these Boston Celtics are in. They're just too good, man. They have the best starting five in the entire league, and really just their starting four of their perimeter, you know what I'm saying, not even their center. Drew, Derek White, Tatum, and Brown. That is a hellacious, you know what I'm saying, suffocating defensive core on the perimeter, you know what I'm saying. And for a team like the Dallas Mavericks, who, you know what I'm saying, they're predicated on, you know what I'm saying, their perimeter guys and Luka and Kyrie creating the offense, and the Celtics, they don't allow any of that. Now, even tonight, where you have Kyrie Irving comes in, he gives you 35, Luka comes in, gives you his regular 27, I believe he was 27-8 and 8 or 27-9 and 9, something like that. They're able to generate all these points, but you can see they have to work for each and every one of them. Kyrie took and made a lot of tough shots today. You know what I'm saying? A lot of step back threes, a lot of pull up threes, a lot of, you know, fadeaway shots in the league. Shots that, of course, Kyrie is capable of making them, and you're not surprised that he makes the shots. But those are not really the ideal shots that you want really anybody shooting when you're talking about running your offense. You'll take it because you want to stay in the flow of the game and keep things close. But in the end, those are not the shots you want to be taking. And you can just see it's so many of these tough possessions where the Mavericks are using the whole 24 seconds, or, you know what I'm saying, Kyrie or Luka are gonna have to, you know, pull a magic out of their head to make something happen. You just kind of like feel like that's not sustainable. Like, even if they were to win this game, for them to have to duplicate that 3 more times, you just don't feel like it's feasible unless barring tragic injury for the Celtics. And they even had a little bit of setback with Kristaps Porzingis potentially being out for the entire series. And really, they don't even need him. You know what I'm saying? Having him having him playing right now really was just the icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? You saw really in game 1 and game 2, just the fact that with him on the court, the Celtics can get every offensive rebound. They really just like dominate really the 3-point line and the mid post because they don't have anybody who can guard Kristaps Porzingis. So God, you know what I'm saying, the basketball gods gave the Mavericks, you know what I'm saying, this lob of, you know what I'm saying, taking away that presence in the paint, and then you get the avalanche for the Boston Celtics. We'll see how many 3-point hits they hit today. So the Celtics, they knocked down 17 3-pointers. They shot 46 threes. When they were down in that first quarter, I was kind of just like, so before they made the full comeback, when they were like kind of battling back, I was just like, how is this game so close? It feels like just like the Mavericks have been dominating all facets. But I looked at it, and at the time they had taken 23s, and I believe they hit like 7 or 8, and I was like, okay, so their strategy is going to be that we're just going to keep getting these shots up, and you know what I'm saying, rather going to shoot ourselves back into the game, or we're going to shoot ourselves out of the game. And this team is just so talented. They have so many 40% shooters, and when Jason Tatum is coming out and he's able to knock down, you know what I'm saying, step back, pull up threes over, you know what I'm saying, over defenders and all that, and then you have Jaylen Brown coming in the second half, and you know what I'm saying, just really putting the bow on what really should be a Finals MVP for him, because he's been great throughout the entire series. Tatum had a great first half today. Ended up leading the Celtics in scoring for the game, but they don't win this game without Jaylen Brown. They don't win this game without his defense. They don't win this game. The fact that they really won this game is because at around I believe it was a 3 or 4 minute mark in the fourth quarter, Jaylen Brown forces Luka Doncic's 6th foul. You know what I'm saying? The crazy thing about that is that Jaylen Brown also forced his 5th foul just moments before that. And I believe he also forced his 4th foul. Just the offensive pressure that Jaylen Brown was putting on Luka Doncic, it completely unraveled Luka. You know what I'm saying? There was times where, and I'm not gonna lie, the refs they called a really odd game tonight. Very, very physical on both sides. Plays where you think they would be fouls, they didn't call fouls, and it was just really, really bizarre from the refs. But just having that offensive pressure being put on Luka, and Luka having to really just like make it to like he couldn't hide. Jaylen Brown did not let him hide. Anytime Jaylen Brown caught the ball in the open court, he went straight downhill at Luka. He initiated all contact with Luka, and Luka knows that he really doesn't have the foot speed to keep up with Jaylen Brown. So you saw him trying to get in front and draw charges, and they would be blocking fouls, and those are really just some of the worst fouls you can get, because like even if you do get that foul, that's like a 20%, 30% opportunity, that possibility that they call that foul in that moment. Not something to 10 they're going to call that a blocking foul. So just shout out to Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? He should be winning this Finals MVP, because this thing is over. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's come back from down 0-3, and I just think that it's a complete mismatch. When you go from up 13 to down 21 over the course of one game, over the course of 2 quarters, really, it's just like, what really can you do? What really can you do? But that's all I got for this one, man. I guess I'll be back in a couple of days. Even if, I probably won't record a video if the Mavs, even if the Mavs do win a game, because what's the point? You know what I'm saying? What's the point? So, shout out to the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back when you guys secure that championship in a couple of days. And, yeah, man, that's all I got. Leave a like, leave a share, subscribe, comment, all that YouTube stuff. And I'm going to holler at y'all in the next one. Peace and love, family. Deuces.